Hello, children. Welcome to another devotional. A couple of questions and then I'm going to read a verse. Have you ever been ashamed or embarrassed because you're a Christian? Maybe you have some friends or some neighbors or someone at school who laughs at you because you have to go to church on Sunday. You go to Sunday school. Or you carry a Bible and you dress up on Sundays. And they say, we go to the mountains, or we go to the beach, or we go to the lake all day Sunday and maybe Saturday. And you think, man, I don't like when they laugh at me. I wonder about this. Well, listen what Paul the Apostle wrote to the Romans in chapter 1, verse 16. He said, "For I am not ashamed or embarrassed of the gospel of Christ, of being a Christian. For it is the power of God unto salvation to every one that believeth, to the Jew first and also to the Greek." Paul said, you know what? I will not be embarrassed about knowing God, about loving God, about being a Christian, about the gospel of Christ, because I have seen many people changed by the gospel. Wicked people, wicked men and women turned into godly people. Why? Because they believed the gospel. He said, I'm not going to be ashamed of that. This morning, I was in a men's meeting at our church, and we were sharing some testimonies, and one of the men said he knew a man years ago who was a killer. What he did is he shot enemies of his group and his gang and himself, and maybe he even, I don't know, but he might have even shot people for money. And so that's what he did. He was a wicked, vile person who killed other people. And he was assigned to kill a certain man. And so he started studying his ways, what he did, what his habits were. And he found out and he realized that the best time to shoot this man was when he came on a bus to a certain bus stop. Every day, or on certain days at the very same time, he always did that. You could count on him. He had watched him, so he had that habit. So he decided on one particular day, when he was going to shoot him, he said, okay, I'm going to go. So he goes to the bus station, or the bus stop rather, beside the road, and he gets there early and he's waiting for the bus to come. While he's waiting, three girls, not young ladies, not little girls, three young ladies come to the bus stop and they start telling him about the gospel, about Jesus. He's there to shoot a person, but he's listening to them, and so they grab his arm and they sort of pull him and invite him to a meeting, and so he doesn't even know why he went. I mean, he was there to shoot a man, but all of a sudden he found himself in a church. And he hardly remembers going, but he found himself in the church on a bench. The girls had come in and sat beside him, so he couldn't get out, and he had to listen to the gospel while a man preached there in the service. Well, guess what? He got saved. He heard the gospel, he believed the gospel, and God changed his life and turned him from a killer, a shooter of other men, to a pastor. And he was Jose, my friend's pastor. Led him to the Lord, showed him the gospel. The man who showed my friend the gospel was the man who used to be a killer. And because three girls were not ashamed of the gospel and came to him and told him about Jesus, his life was changed completely, and he became a preacher, became a pastor. And at a certain time during his ministry there at the church, he led my friend Jose to the Lord. And now Jose is a faithful member of our church and loves the Lord, and he talks to everyone about the Lord Jesus. He's not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. And so Paul told the Romans, and he tells you and me, don't be ashamed of the gospel of Christ, because it's the power of God to change lives. Don't be embarrassed about the Lord Jesus. Be proud in the good sense. Be proud to be a Christian. And say with Paul, I will not be ashamed of the gospel of Christ. Okay, God bless you. Have a great day. Love you.